Okay. Okay, friends. Welcome back to yet another session of Thinking and Destiny and the last session of the Great Way. We are in the process of learning the Great Way. So we will see today how we can achieve that Great Way. That's the solution that he is giving us today. Before we go further into the session, let us meditate on Percival's consciousness. Let his wisdom flow through me to every one of us. Please sit in a meditative posture. Cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. Please sit quiet and observe your breath. Observe your in-breath how vital energy is taking from outside to each and every part of your body. Notice what's happening in your body while you are inhaling. Each part of the body is coming up. Which parts are going down? Whether you are expanding your chest or your tummy. Face it. Slowly observe your body while you're exhaling. What's happening in your body? Also notice when you're focusing on your breath, did you get any thought? As Buddha says, you can't get thought when you bring all consciousness in observing it. Slowly fill your body. Keep your hands on your eyes for a few seconds. And open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further, today's session, let's recap what we learned from the last session. Over to you, Balagaru. You're on mute.
Thank you, Prasanna. It was nice meditation, short and nice. So in section 7, we started last week. In chapter 11, section 7, what he says in this highway, the way, he says in the truthful way, we need to be honest and truthfulness. Those two are the main qualities, he says. The way to immortality can be traveled by everyone. Finally, it is the destiny for everyone, but not immediately. He says this is the destiny for everyone, but not for everyone immediately. It is not for the disbeliever. So we need to have the faith and belief. There should be quest and definite decision to find the way. So main thing is that's why even in our scriptures it says adhato brahma jignasa. We need to have that quest should be there. It is individual's private decision. The sooner you begin the work, fewer lives you take. Once the decision is made, other 11 doer portions outside the body will act upon. So they will cooperate once we make the decision to go on the way. For unmarried people, physical sexual desire should not be there. For married couple, there should be mutual adjustment to go on the immortal way. Sex indulgence should only be for the purpose of giving birth to a child, he says. When you as a conscious self decided to go on the way, you can appeal to your thinker to guide you, then the concentrated truth light will show you the pathway. When you are on the true path, you ignore the light of nature coming from senses, but hold on to the self-knowing conscious light inside. First, you must qualify two ways to travel on this way. What are those? One is the art of seeing, the other one is art of knowing. The first one, art of seeing, is the things that you see the things as they are. Here, you do not focus on their appearances, but on the reality. When you are on the true path, avoid preference and prejudice. They are like cataract to the physical eye. They dim and obscure the conscious light. So we should not have the preference and the prejudice. Then you should have you should have the virtue of honesty and truthfulness. In honesty, you avoid taking others' belongings and be honest to yourself and to others. And the truthfulness is you say the facts as they are without fear, without any intent to deceive. By the practice of the honesty and truthfulness, fearless virtue is developed. And then the second one is the art of knowing. Art of knowing is what to do and what not to do. It develops the discrimination power. Preparation, this is the preparation for the way, he says. Now you can ask your thinker and knower to guide you in the right thinking and doing. You can say and ask your knower, my judge knower, please guide me in all I think and do. So here he says we can ask our knower to guide us. Please guide me in all my thinking and doing. That we can ask to guide us. On this path, you should perform all your duties correctly. Never avoid them. Do the duty without expectation and fear. Here, one's position, the low or high, either married or single, does not matter. Faith is the most important. All unnecessary ties naturally falls away when you are on the path. With the purpose in your training, the training and learning and doing is important. Time is not important. Here he says, when you have a purpose on this way, the training and the learning is the most important doing, but not the time. He says here you need to accomplish the purpose you came here, not the number of lives you take. So that is what he says. That's what I have. So now today we begin with the regenerative breathing.
Thank you, Balagaru. So, yeah, we will start with the regenerative breathing. So do not boggle about the names of the thing. It was not too much, the regenerative breathing. So why they say it is a regenerative is, when you are using this kind of a breathing, you can be focused, or you can be reaching this kind of state that where you can just go to your thinker and go to your knower, right? So how that can be happen, what are the things that we will be doing, that we will see. today's session. I told like every others also, because it is whether it is connected to the other things or not, you can just by just listening to this session also you can just progress something in your spiritually. So the method of regenerative breathing is assisting. How what way it is assisting? It is assisting you to see the things as they are. You are not actually trying to do or establish some kind of judgment or anything. It helps you to see the things they are, and it helps you to know what to do in any situation. It reestablishes right relation between your breath and the breath form. So as we all taking, the breath is different from the breath form. So it actually gives a right relationship between these two. It is the beginning of reconstruction of a human body according to the form of the original perfect body. So when you are in this breathing, so it is you are actually reconstructing your human body with this method. In this method, you are exploring and examining the body by means of your breath, knowing the mystery of the human body. So that you will be knowing it. So before we go actual to the breath, the kind of thing, right? We will see what are the different kinds. The breath is always the four kinds: physical breath, form breath, light breath. As we are having the four different bodies, so we are having the physical breath, form breath, life breath, and light breath. Are we breathing all four? No. Obviously, you will say we are not. We are not doing. So the first kind, whatever that you are practicing, the physical breath, it prepares to initiate your form breath. In turn prepares to initiate your life breath. In turn, it initiates to prepare the light breath. So when the physical breath is perfect, then you are able to initiate the other things. Then they'll initiate the next subsidiary breaths. The main breath is here, the physical breath. Again, in the physical breath also, there is a solid physical, fluid physical, airy physical, and radiant physical. There are the four. So which is belongs to the physical world, life world, form world, life world, and light world. Okay. So solid physical, fluid physical, airy physical, and radiant physical breaths are there. In other words, the structure is physical form of the physical, or life form of the physical, light form of the physical. So these first four subsidiary breaths build and repair the structure. So whatever the first four, that means solid physical, fluid physical, airy physical, and radiant physical, this is the breath. It is helping you to build and repair the structure of your physical body. It is saying, remember, it is not just actually taking the breath is not only just to live your body. This breath is building and repairing the structure of your physical body. Remember that. This should maintain the balance between building material and removing your waste material from the body. So the two things, excretion is also so much important. If your body cannot excrete the things which is not necessary, then your body will be boggling up with all that dusty things, right? All the things will be there in your body. So this breath helps you to take out the extract the things also. This will be done regular inflow and outflow of the four substrates. How it is doing regular inflow and outflow of four substrates. The solid physical matter, solid, fluid, area, and radiant units. If you are doing regularly this physical breath practice, all these things can happen. Breathing was intended to supply. What is our supply? It is actually you are thinking that breathing it is taking in oxygen and taking out the carbon dioxide. That much we know, being a science, right? It is intended to supply all the parts, not just, right? It is supplying all the parts, the solid body units of its own state. It is supplying the oxygen to all the parts so that these parts can function properly. Without this breath, these parts cannot be functioning. So which means that if there is any problem in your body also, it is automatically we have an automatically it can repair itself. How it is happening? Because when you are taking the vital energy through the breath form, when you are taking it properly, then these forms are all automatically getting repaired. So the gross physical body is automatically getting repaired by your breath, the vital energy that you are taking through your breath. So that we experience. Suppose when you are getting a cold, if you are taking a tablet, it takes 7 days, and if you are not taking a tablet, it takes 1 week. That's what they say, right? So either way, because it is not that it's about the tablet, it is about the body is cleansing. Sometimes the cold and all those things will come to repair your body, because when there is something that you are not taking rest or anything, right, what will happen is the body will cause you some disturbance so that you will take proper rest. So these are all the body things that it is actually acting upon you, so that you will get enough rest that required to repair your body. Okay, the human breaths are only the because, but what is happening? What is happening here in the sense why? Because when actually everybody is taking the breath, why actually all our bodies are not getting repaired? What is the problem? We are all breathing, right? Then why it is not getting repaired? Why we are all getting some kind of diseases or any or some problems we are getting it? The reason Percival is saying is we are not actually breathing properly.
Yes.
The breath is not is the one. Instead, you are focusing on your drinks, you are focusing on your food. You are thinking that if I eat this, if I drink this, if I do that, then you will get repaired. That's not the true. That's what the Percival is saying. If you are taking a proper breath itself will help you to actually connect the things. When you are physically fit, when you are physically healthy, when all your organs are working fine, then you will not have any problem. You will be able to see the things as they are. You are able to connect to your thinker. In turn, you are able to connect to your knower. So in turn, you are able to find the great way. This is all linked with your breath. So Patri sir told this long back without explaining all these things. Focus on your breath.
Yes.
That is what the Percival, after explaining all the things, he mentioned focus on your breath. That is what here we are actually learning in this. So therefore, health and death are consequences of, what is the consequences of?
Not breathing properly.
Not breathing properly. Improper breathing. Health and death is consequences of improper breathing. That's a main highlight point that we need to learn today. The tissue is building up. Balancing is maintaining between the cells. Or elimination of the waste matter from your body. This is all in the process of breathing only. If breathing is not proper, then you cannot do that. You have to put all the tubes. You have to give a food also. You need a one food pipe, and to eliminate, you need to get one more food pipe, one for urine, one for other things. All these things you need to put if the breathing is not proper. That we are seeing when the person cannot breathe when they are on ventilator or anything, right? So that's how the body is functioning. That we all know. The elimination of the waste matter from the structure, metabolizing the maintenance between the building and building of the various body, and age-old biological mystery of tissue building is happening with breath only. By practicing the regenerative method of breathing, until such a breathing becomes your habitual breathing, until this regenerative breathing becomes your habitual breathing, physical breath means habitual physical breath all the times, the solid fluid airy radiant structure of the physical body will not be good. So you need to practice this, and it should become a habitual every time. So physical body, the four subsidiary states of the physical breath is to build properly adjusted by functioning of the physical health, the life which may be prolonged indefinitely. When this breath was proper, this life can be prolonged indefinitely. Okay. So one who decides to practice this system of breathing advised not to practice any pranayama in any other system. When you are practicing this, need not practice any other pranayama or any other thing. So what are the rules of this regenerative breathings? First we will see. First rule, there should be no unnecessary pause or interruption in the breathing between in-breathing and out-breathing. That could be an interference of the rhythm of your breath or stoppage of light of thinking. So there should not be. Suppose the people will say, right, when you are breathing, hold it. This is what they're saying. So here
Kumbhakam
he is
Rechka.
saying, do not do anything. Just go with the flow. Regenerative means don't think like too much. That's what I told you, right? It's just the flow of your breath, natural breath. Okay, flow and flow of the out breath. So you need not practice any of these kind of pranayama techniques here. One should think with the flow of the breath as it comes in and as passes through the body. Observe actually how that feel, where it is naturally going, what it does, what are the results, what is being done to your breath, what is the title of the passage in and out of the body. This is what you need to observe. This we have learned when did we learn?
Anapanasati.
Anapanasati long ago when you started your meditation, right?
Yes.
That is the technique that Percival is also giving us here. The third point is a time should be set for a daily practice of regenerative breathing. It should be first not less than 10 minutes and should gradually extend it to the longer periods as consistent with one's reason. But breathing may be practiced at any time, day or night, so that eventually the practice will become one regular or normal breathing. So he is asking us to set aside a time, and every day you practice that in the same time. Of course, breathing can be practiced, whatever the regenerative technique that he is saying, you can be practiced anytime. But you sit aside, observe your breath and all the things that you have to done. You have to be done one particular place and daily at the same time. The practice of breathing should be suspended or stopped if one believes that there is no reason for doing it. If you are feeling that, oh, there is no reason for doing it, stop it. Don't force yourself. You should believe it first that it is happening. If there is a time, if there is a time for panic, anger, excitement, or you are overwhelmed, then persistently sit uninterrupted breathing. Observe your full in breath and out breath. This is the practice of regenerative breathing. The breath rebuilds the tissues and opens the new avenues for unobstructed flow of the breaths. It intricates the body, its senses, organs and cells, molecules, atoms, etc. All the things it will do that. The breath passage through the blood nerves tend to relate and put the agreement that they are desired, that is, doer in the body, what it is doing, it will have an agreement. The blood vessels and nerves in the body run side by side and they build the field of desire. Nerves build the field of feeling and nerves put the feeling of feeling and desire into the face. So this entire thing is happening with your breathing. Thinking is the study holding of focusing the conscious light. So before we go for the thinking part, I will just explain what is the regenerative thinking, right? Regenerative breathing. Regenerative breathing is nothing but you have to sit. Observe that breathing. So here he is saying the technique, one of the technique that they say, right? Just put the hands like this. When you are breathing, he didn't close it. Did you notice? When you are actually breathing in, expansion. When you are breathing out, you are coming down. You are not just closing the. Here, actually, you are expanding the parts of the body. When you are expanding the parts of the body, when you are breathing in, what is happening? You are trying to take more oxygen. You are trying to take more oxygen. When the bodies were expanded, when your lungs got expanded, you are trying to take more and more oxygen. When you are actually practicing this breathing regularly, what happens? The breathe in time. Now, if I count right, maybe I don't know whether I can count. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Like that, I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's becoming hard for me to count while breathing. Okay. You count, Balagaru.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So 8 count, I'm able to breathe in. Okay. That should increase to 10, 12, 20. But here I didn't hold any place. If you notice it, right? I breathe in and I breathe out. The breathe in and breathe out should be very smooth. Conscious breathing. You can say it is a conscious breathing. The regenerative breathing is nothing but the conscious breathing. The technique that I have just gone through some of the videos is because if you are doing like that, you will feel how the expansion of the body. Because when you are breathing in, you need to see the body, right? It's a diaphragm. You need to see whether you are actually expanding here or you're expanding the lungs place also. So the right breathing is you need to expand your lungs place. Okay. The chest breathing can be done only when you are actually running. Because when you are running, you can't do complete breathe, right? So that is the time where you can do the chest breathing. But in all other cases, regular breathing should be the complete lungs breathing should be there. Okay. That is only the regenerative. It's not a new technique. It's a right way of breathing. When you are actually doing the right way of breathing, what is happening? You are able to take more oxygen because you are expanding consciously. You are able to take more oxygen, and where you are actually downing, you are actually, because you are conscious, you are actually exhaling all your toxins. Your breath also helps you to remove all your toxins also. Okay, so this is the breathing that Percival is asking us to practice. Sit there, and what is saying? You need to observe the breath. The breathing part any day, any time of the day you can do. But when you are actually observing the breath, means you are actually meditating on your breath, isn't it? So when you are doing that, do a specific time, at least not less than 10 minutes, and to do increase that time. Practice the thing. So again, you may question, you may get a question that, oh, do we need to observe the breathing entire time? He's answering that question also. Okay. You will not be able to observe the breath entire time. There will be a place where you seize your breath. Where you seize your breath. Suppose some shock news came. Do you breathe at that moment? You won't, right? So similarly, there will be a moment where you are focusing completely on your conscious, because that stillness you are doing, right? That time you will not focus on your breath. You need not breathe also, because that time your focus is more. You need not focus on your breath. Breath will automatically take in place. That's the thing. That's a thing that is going to. Thinking is a study. So here he is saying, once you started thinking, what is happening? When you thinking is a study holding and focusing of a conscious light within the subject of thinking. The study holding, actual focusing of the conscious light by thinking is possible only the neutral moment at the point between the out breathing and in breathing. The results of thinking is possible only at the two poles or the points of complete round. So this practice of breathing and thinking is a method of acquiring the power to think. Power to think. So when you want to think of a particular subject, choose the subject. You all know, when we want to do something very desperately, we think about that, whether you are cooking, whether you are taking bath, whether you are doing office work, anything, your mind will be keep on thinking on that subject, and you will be achieving that. It could be anything. It could be as simple as buying a ornament of your choice, or buying a garment of your choice too, or anything anything under the sky. If you think, definitely you will be able to do that. Isn't it? If you want to become a rich, people will find the ways and become a rich. Isn't it? Because you and me, we satisfied somewhere. That's why we are not actually going up in the physical world. We wanted to go up in some other world, isn't it? Similarly, that's what here he is saying. Whenever you wanted to focus on something consciously, in breath and out breath, at that time think. Because what is happening here is, we have some thoughts, but we are not focusing our complete light on the thought. Today, I want to become something. I wanted to get some job or something that I wanted to learn and do that. And tomorrow, oh, where in the world I'll get a time? My age is over. It is okay. Because contradictory, we are actually not focusing our thought there. If you are focusing, you will get there. Isn't it? If you are focusing, you will get there. That is what here is saying. So whenever you are focusing the thought in between the breaths, so which means you are actually holding the light onto that thought. Consciously, when you are holding that thought, you will find the solutions. You will find you because your thinker will connect to your knower. When your thinker is connecting to your knower is the one which is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. So this knower will give you the right solution. What needs to be done? So everything lies with your proper breathing and focusing the light. That is what here he is saying. That's what here he is saying. Thinking steadily, holding the light. So actual results of thinking are possible only between the round of breathing. The practice of breathing and thinking is a method of acquiring the power to think. This is another point. While you are breathing, focusing on that, complete focus on one thought is the power to think. You are actually connecting with your thinker at that time. When thinking on the subject of this regenerative breathing, the process of breathing in the rebuilding the body will be made known. You will be able to know because who is that? And the author, I didn't remember the book Placebo. Who is the other?
Oh, Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza, what he did it?
For
He just
constantly.
while thinking, he just focused on the part by part. If
Yes.
anybody forget it, his spinal cord got
Yes.
because in a bike
Ruptured.
accident, his spinal cord completely thing, and
Ruptured.
doctor said it will not be able to come, even multiple surgeries. But he
Yes.
sat in a meditation. He started visualizing it. Oh, now this bone, because now the bottom bone is actually building up. Now that is coming up, that is actually rebuilding it. So with this, because he put entire focus on that particular bone building
While lying down.
while lying down, not even sitting. Okay,
Yeah.
while lying down. So he completely focused on that one, and he focused and he's in between breathing only. He did all the things, right? So completely one by one, all the bones got formed. How? Because with our body has that kind of power. When you focus on one particular thing of thinking, that's the power that we all have it. Joe Dispenza is not a Ramakrishna or Yesu Christ, right? He is a person like you and me. When he can do it, we all have that power. We all can do it. So that is what here the Percival is saying. So you can build with the conscious light you can do. When you are focusing on that, your body can, because the body functions are related to the universe, and universe as a whole, right? A body as a whole, it comes and it takes the action. When you are focusing the thinking, there are 4 stages of degrees in thinking. What is that? First, what is the 4 degrees? First, select the subject, what you want to think. Select the subject, that's the first part. Second, give the attention to the subject. Give the attention to the subject. The first, select the subject and give your attention to the subject. Next, hold conscious light on the subject. Okay.
Yeah.
Third, focus the light on the subject only. You are holding the conscious light, you are focusing the light on the subject. 4, focus the light. Forget about the subject. Focus the light. Because subject you already started linking with your knower. Knower is coming up. So then focus only on your conscious light. Then all the knowledge that is required for that particular solution will come. If you go and see any scientist, right, they did not find their solutions in labs. They experimented, they did so much thinking, but in some semi-consciousness state, they got a thought. Oh, this could have happened. Because they are focusing so much that light onto that subject. when actually they are doing that kind of thing. So then when they forget the subject, only that light is there, then they got the solution.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So similarly, we know we have found the solutions for many of our day-to-day problems like that, because we focused on that. But we didn't focus on the things that some of the things that we are not, like how some people will say, I totally cured the cancer with my just mindful eating. There are so many people even in US also. So I just ate the mindful eating, plant-based eating, and I just completely cured the thing. It's maybe that part of that plant-based eating is helpful, but their complete focus is on rebuilding their body. Each of our cells is actually dying and coming back, but their complete focus is on that. That's the reason they could heal it. And they also believe that it will happen. That's the first point. They also believe that it will happen. Oh, once cancer comes, it is very hard to go out of the body, If you believe that, it will happen that way. So that is what here he is saying. The subject should be only thing which gives the attention. There should be nothing else that your attention is going. That's the first part. Second, holding the light steadily means all available light, whatever that available light, your mental atmosphere should hold on to the subject, because you should get that subject, get that light and turn that light onto the subject. As soon as the light is turned on the subject, the light attracts one's past thoughts, and either wandering or ideal thoughts. The light so turned, the thoughts of the subjects of the thought, it pets on, and it will be crowded in the light. The first effect of the thinker is that there is a great many subjects would obscure and prevent in his seeing the subject. So here what is happening is, when you started one subject, there will be many subjects that is actually distracting you. There are so many subjects here. So once you started focusing on the light on the subject, you are able to see many other subjects. But still, you should be able to focus on the subject. You should not get distracted. I'll give you a very small and mundane day-to-day example. You focused. You are going for a particular sari for shopping into the shop. When you go to a shop, because you already have in your mind that I can only buy, this is my 10,000 or 15,000 is my budget, and I need this kind of sari for this particular occasion. I don't need anything else. That's focus. Very focus. You went to the shop. But once you go to the shop, that your neighbor next table person will ask something. This table person will ask. Your eyes are wandering, and you end up 90% of the ladies will end up buying two other things, and some of the ladies will forget what they went and they also buy the other things. Which means similarly, here also, when the light is focused on that, in not only this subject, you are also seeing the other subjects. If your mind is actually wandering about all other subjects, your purpose was lost. So at that time also, you should be able to focus on your subject only. Give the attention to the there are so many number of thoughts that are crowded in. But without distraction, without prevent all the thoughts, focus your light on your subject selection only. Then all the crowded thoughts will go away. You fight mentally. Just be to concentrate the light on the innumerable thoughts. Don't go to those innumerable thoughts. Finally give all the efforts to do that. Then it may take the same subject again. Suppose you didn't get it, take the same subject again and again. It contemplate, meditate on the subject. Then he will have some itchings, feelings, irritation, uneasiness, changing his positions, beginning all over again and again. Often tries to get unaware of the unwarranted intrusions. So many things will come, but still you need to focus on the subject that you want to have it. In that way, to keep trying things steadily on the subject mentally, refuse to see anything else. Anything else you refuse to see, and he's trying to hold the light, then it will happen. However, many efforts, how long it may take, However necessary, how long it may necessary, but take it. Each time you think about the things, those other thoughts will annoy you. Turn the light only on the subject that you want it. See that he will focus only on the subject. Unwarranted things you should not go it. That is the completed of the second stage. All the things will come, but you should be there in the second on that subject. Third stage is focusing on the light. The light is more or less is a diffused, because in our things, the light that we are having is already diffused. It is not so bright because we are wasting it. By looking steadily at the subject as a point, light becomes more compact and directed the area of central point, which is the subject. Light comes to the focus on the subject. As soon as the light is focused, the subject point opens up. Full knowledge of the subject, it opens up. Light shows its entirety, complete subject. It illuminates the landscape of the dark side and it opens up entirety. The light is the knowledge of the subject accomplished by thinking. How you got it? When you are thinking again and again, this light, the knowledge of subject is coming up. That is the third stage. Concerning the second stage, what is that? That's the holding of the light. And here, holding of the light focusedly on the subject. Each time the light is turned, intervening the subjects, there is a change of distance or perspective. So one subject intervenes closer and another subject will come. So interventions will come. So because, like as I told you, like there are so many things will come, but your light should be focused to acquire the knowledge. When one looks at the things, it is not seen and entirely. To see it, one must see the focal point of thing that looks at it. And if it is the focal point, he see the whole in that focal point. So that is what we need to learn. I'll give you an example that we have practiced the last weekend. Last weekend we went to a puja, Satyanarayana Swami puja. Okay. There will, because it's a young couples, so there are so many, because even the friends are young couples, right? The kids are there, lot of kids are there, and they are doing a lot of noise in the upstairs. So when you are opening your eyes, that's what I noticed. When you are opening your eyes, I heard a lot of voice, and I feel like my head is aching like anything. But when the priest is actually giving the stories, I wanted to concentrate and I want to listen. Instead of opening the eyes, I closed my eyes. When I closed my eyes and trying to focus on his voice, nothing else actually I could hear. Is it not that noise is there when I close my eyes also? I didn't close my ears. I closed my eyes only. So ears, if I close it, then nothing should be here, right? It's not. I just closed my eyes, focused my thinking on the voice of priest. So then I could only hear that particular thing, which means anything. So try to, for why, that is the reason why I'm contemplating, because when you are opening eyes, 80% you are distracting with your eyes because so many things you are seeing. Suppose a lady, the same shopping story, if I go take it, right? Some blind lady went for a shopping. Okay. She needs such a kind of thing in such color, in something. That's what she will go and ask. That shopwala will give that material, that color or that pattern, whatever it is she asked. So she will get it and she'll come back. Why? She'll not have any distractions. Because her eyes, she's closing her eyes. Her thought is focused what she needs to get it. Similarly, here close your eyes. Contemplate, meditate on the subject, focus the light. Light is not this electric lights that we need to focus. The light within us need to be focused on the subject. Then you will be getting all the knowledge that is required. Such a profound knowledge, right, that he has given here. How does one get light in thinking? How does one get light in thinking? The surest way of light in getting thinking. What is the way? How do you get the light in thinking? Regular breathing. Regular breathing. Ultimate regular breathing, observing the breathing, which means it's a meditation. Right? So that is the thing that he is actually saying. The surest way is regular breathing. Light one gets through that point, one point. Neutral point, in breath, out breath. Focus on one neutral point. between the in-breathing and out-breathing, only one point. So there is a twice. So when you are doing that, the conscious light is focused. Which one?
In full round, there are two.
Full round. Yeah, in full round. So there is a conscious, in that light, so this light is happening when you are actually, conscious light is happening when you are actually focusing. When the light comes into the two neutral points between the in-breath and out-breath, one must be thinking steadily on the subject, else light will get diffused. So you need to focus steadily on the subject. When the light would come in, therefore the diffused over many subjects. Suppose there are many subjects you are coming, you are diffusing the light. But continued practice of thinking on the one subject, then the light will get brightened, it will not get diffused. He will eventually be able to discover something on his subject. Whatever the subject that you are actually doing, you will eventually able to get it, because the light will give little illumination on his subject, although it may not open it into the knowledge. In this way, who gets the information? Business, he can get the information about his business, art, or any occupation that is endure of your life. It is not only the spiritual knowledge, any subject. That's what he is saying. The light gives information about the subjects of which they believe, they think. Okay, all inventions, all discoveries, science, arts, everything in our life has happened like this only. They completely focus the light on their subjects without diffusing. This is thinking. This is human thinking. Okay, real, but this is a real, this is not a real thing, because if you are focusing on the business and all the things, this is not a real thinking. That's what he's saying. Real thinking is beyond an ordinary man. Beyond an ordinary man. Light was focused at the time of thinking subject, breathing would stop. So, beyond an ordinary man, when you are actually focusing on the subject, the breathing would stop. You will be such a focus in such a way. The light would suspend breathing. One would think in the light. One would can think in the light. You need not have the breathing. And see the subject of his choice. The real thinking is extensions of what may be the real thinking called. It is the it's a regular thinking, what may we call it, maybe the extension is the real thinking. Light is an intelligent per se. Here you may say the light is an intelligent. You may say, but I am intelligent. That intelligence is different. The light is the one which is holding steadily on you, is an intelligent. Okay, that is the one that you need to focus here. But the light is intelligent, but human beings are not intelligences. They become intelligent varying the degrees. Varying the degrees. Suppose one is in varying degrees. Why varying degrees? Because the way that you are focusing the thinking. Suppose I am thinking too much on one particular subject, you are not thinking. So you may say that I am talented in that subject. Suppose you are thinking too much on your Carnatic music and you are practicing regularly, but I am not. Then what do you say? You are proficient in that. So you are thinking. So your intelligence is varying in degree, depends on how much you are focusing on the subject. This is agreeable, right? As one goes and persists the thought and action of the right justice, advice and guidance will come from the thinker. So from you, when you are connected to the thinker, right, you will get all the advice and the advice and guidance. So one may gain the strength. So he will do fearlessly with the confidence. You will undertake that work. So from time to time, revelations will come. It will answer all your questions, because when you are thinking, you are actually connecting your thinker to the knower. So all your revelations will come. Each subsidiary of the physical breath is the medium. Here again, physical breath is the medium of the next finer breath uses. So whatever the breath that you are using, that you are establishing your physical body to the perfect body. You are a relation between your physical body to the perfect body. You are doing it. The one who are actually doing the regenerative breathing is prepared. He is preparing his body for the form breathing, and that in turn from the life breathing, and in turn with the light breathing. So they are actually preparing in turn one after the another. The form breath is the beginning of your regenerance of the bodily life. It is the interior and mystery, the miracle life of the higher forms. Once you went to the form breathing, so you are actually going to the perfect body you are going. It is preparing you, the breathing, the life breath, from form breath to the life breath. Then it receives the information as a thinker, and also it connects the knower, that is his triune self. So it is indicated by the this is what we have already studied in the we will be studying in turn in detail in the later chapters also. So this is what is happening from the regenerative breathing. That is what here the free Montessori. There is a one more chapter that he has given, like free Montessori to follow the great way, right? But for some reason this was not because some rituals, right? Some ritual of free Montessori. This chapter was contradicting or something. Because of that, publishers have removed this chapter. But if you anybody want to know, there is a separate book was published on the free Montessori thing. So
It
you
has all
can
the
just
symbols, I think.
symbols. Yes, it's a symbols. So separate book was published. I think to know that we need to get that book and do that. So this is all about regenerative breathing. How this will able to connect to your thinker, and how when you are actually subject, when you are holding a subject, how you will get the knowledge from the knower. How you can go and connect to the knower, and how everything. So all these scientists or all these discoveries has happened when one has focused their light on that subject study. Okay, with this, I'm closing this thing. Now, time for questions.